So, I just want to get right into it. It is so sad at how black women, or even, I'm going to just start with just black women. We're going to start here first. We're going to just do part one. About how hard it is for us to be taken seriously in medical offices, hospitals. It's insane. Like, really insane. Sorry, I had to take a minute because I was already getting ready to cry. I'm a real man. I ain't finna cry, bitch. So, in 2023, the end of 2023, around like October of that year, I had gotten very, very, very sick, and I ended up having to miss work. I was dizzy, throwing up, could not explain it. I didn't know if it was a virus or what. I was also like on my cycle, and everything was just terrible. Like, I laid in my bed, just laid in the dark for literally 2 days. Barely ate, could barely drink anything. Like, it was ridiculous. So, make a long story short, I ended up finally making doctor's appointments or whatever. I couldn't really get into no doctor. So at first, you got to get a referral. So I found me a new primary care, went to my primary care, stated all of my issues that I had, and it sounded like, I'm not going to say that. He was listening. I found me a black doctor in the area that I'm in that is very, very hard. It is. Listen, it is. And I was very adamant about making sure I had black doctors, okay? And he did his big one. He did his big one by about my second visit, I had referrals, a lot of stuff. Anyway, so basically I told him the issues that I was having with my cycle and whoop. He was just like, I gave him my full background of my family's medical history, like everything. And I told him my concerns. I was like, well, my mom has this, and my grandmother had this, my aunt had this. Like, a lot of people in my family basically had fibroids, endometriosis, or some had to have hysterectomies, myomectomies, whatever you want to call it. Everybody coochie had something going on. Hold on. I'm sorry for laughing. I play too much. But it's sad, but I literally have to laugh to keep from crying. And I was basically explaining to him, I was like, listen, something is not right with me. And I said, I've been expressing this for years. I tried birth control, back in, my early 20s. It lasted 3 months. It was terrible. I literally I just had a cycle literally for, a whole month. I would be off for, a week, and I would just be having a cycle again for, a whole month. It was terrible. So after 3 months, I got off of it. I tried it again later down the line. Again, awful. Only lasted a couple of months. I got off of it. So this time, when I expressed my feelings to my doctor, whatever, he was like, okay, we're going to run some tests on you, do some blood work, see what we can find. From there, we'll give you some referrals. I said, okay, cool. You my dog, okay? We here. Okay? So he did his big one. About 2 days later, I get the results, and he was basically like, come back. I said, okay. Come back. He explains to me that at that moment I was severely anemic, and that he don't even understand how I was walking without passing out. For real. Scared the shit out of me. And I found out all of this right before my 29th birthday. So I was just going through all the motions. I found out I needed glasses, then I was having this health scare, and I'm just like, bro, who do I talk to? Who do I go to? What? So he was like, this is what we're gonna do. I was gonna refer you to a gynecologist or whatever. So I said, okay, cool, or OB, whatever. So he was like, I'm gonna make you an appointment. I don't know how soon you can get the appointment, but go. I said, okay. So I go. Me and sis talking. I basically tell her everything I got going on immediately. She's like, birth control. I expressed my concern about my birth control in the past, how I didn't like it, She just stated, oh, okay, well, based on your levels, basically, she just didn't feel like they were giving me the right type. She was just like, maybe I was given, too much estrogen, and she wanted to give me one with more, I guess with less estrogen, or just whatever. She was like, try that for a couple months. we'll do, and then she was like, we'll come back, do a follow-up. I said, okay, fine. And I also told her my back history with family and all that stuff. And literally every doctor that I've told, like, about my family history, they have all been like, oh, well, that shouldn't affect you. That shouldn't affect you. Oh, that's your mom's half-sister. Oh, that shouldn't affect you. Oh, that's your, like, so you mean to tell me aunties, grandmothers, my mother, all pretty much have a similar issue? Not exactly the same, but every issue that they've had medically has been caused by their vagina. And you mean to tell me that I'm just one-on-one? Like, it just ain't got nothing to do with me. That's crazy. Sorry, I'm trying to heat up this car's code. So yeah, so go from there. She's like, we're gonna run, I'm gonna give you this birth control, you can try that. And I think she told me, like, it was like 2.5, 3 months later, she's like, we're gonna do an ultrasound on you. I said, okay. She was like, because when she did my exam, she literally told me that she felt a fibroid at that day. She was just like, not sure how many, we'll do the ultrasound, we'll go out there, schedule ultrasound. So I couldn't get an appointment until literally like February, I think it was. So it was like, so I think I started the birth control beginning of January or something like that, and then like I didn't get, no, it was only like a month and a half. Anyway, then I got the appointment like sometime in like February, right? So I go to the appointment, do the ultrasound, the tech, silent. I try to ask her questions. Of course, they can't tell us certain stuff, but like I could tell by the look on her face, she was concerned for me. Come to find out, I ended up having 3 fibroids. I had one that was, I think she said it was between 5 to 6 centimeters. She's like, another one that was like 2 to 3 centimeters, and another one that was small. So, of course, you know, I'm in shock. I had a feeling, but I was in shock because, of course, it's like, I don't know anything about this. I don't know if my next cycle, if that's going to cause me to really start passing out. If these things get bigger, what's to happen? She tried to assure me I'll be fine, monitor my symptoms, da-da-da-da-da. So anyway, long story short, after that, I started taking the birth control. Everything started getting a little bit better as far as like pain-wise and all of that. But the only thing was, I was back to having an irregular cycle. And that was still taking a toll on me because it's like, okay, now it's like I'm still bleeding every day. Like literally bleeding every day. And it got to the point where it's like, bro, I have to be at work. I had a physical job at the time. And it's like, I'm spending all this time in the bathroom. Like, it's embarrassing because people just like, dang, like, dude, she got a weak bladder. Like everything was just wrong. Like, I would be at work feeling dizzy, not understanding why, be in the bathroom all the time, always gotta pee, like it was just ridiculous. I was always thirsty, like I was always hungry. I was fucking food up. Like literally, like where I worked, we could not have food on the floor. I literally had a clear backpack with snacks in it that I would literally have to munch on throughout my shift. In between breaks, I was eating something on every break. Like, it was getting ridiculous. And it's like nobody understood my cries. Like, it was to the point where like I was so fatigued. Like, it was to the point where like I just felt sick. Like, I literally would just lay in the bed, I felt sick. Like, it was absolutely terrible. And it's like, I don't even know how to really explain it. And it's like, when I would tell my doctor what I had going on, they would just be like, we just gonna keep running tests. But I noticed that every time that they ran blood work, when I would get the results, it would be different types of results. Like, it would never be the same type of categories. So it's like, why don't you just run a full blood screen of everything? Like, if my insurance is gonna pay for it, I'll just pay whatever the difference, the lab fees is. Like, do everything. It just seemed like every time I got blood drawn 3 times. Every time they drew blood, I got blood drawn 3 times at one doctor and twice at another doctor. Every time my blood work would show different results. Like, everything was different. But then they would tell me, you're fine. Are you sure? I literally can't function in my day-to-day. I'm dizzy as hell. Like, I'm tired all the freaking time. I literally cannot function. Like, sometimes I can't even explain what's wrong with me. It's like, as soon as I wake up, like, I feel like my day is just already ruined. And this is fibroids. And whatever else I might got. Who knows?